Thank you all for coming out to D-NewTech's Holiday Pitch Competition. I'm Shayun Oyewale. I work for Invest Detroit. So this is actually the second time that we've partnered with D-NewTech to host the Holiday Pitch Competition. It's a really friendly environment. We really encourage everyone to network, communicate, engage with one another. We're going to have a slew of different pitches today, 4 or 5 minute pitches, and then we're going to have about 5 60-second pitches. We have 3 illustrious judges here from different respected community institutions that will be judging the 4 or 5 minute pitches. We have Niles here from Michigan Funders. Hey, y'all can applaud. We have Aubrey Agee here from Wayne State, works with Warrior Fund. One of the various things that he does. Yeah, our Blacks on Launchpad. So.
He fixes the math equations on the board that we get on the
Absolutely. So it has a lot of different roles, and then of course we have Paul Reiser, one of the executive directors here at TechTown. So glad to have. Absolutely. So glad to at least have all of have them participate tonight and give the feedback that's necessary. So like I said, we'll be having 4 or 5 minute pitches. We'll have 5 60-second pitches, and we will have a break in between. So we'd love for you all to take notes on the companies and pitches that you're hearing. When you see those people outside of this room, feel free to jump up to them, see how you might be helpful, see how you guys might be able to set up some sort of partnership, what have you. We're all about collaboration here and building for the future. So without further ado, we'd love to introduce Tan, who actually hosts D-NewTech on a monthly basis, for him to share a few words.
Thanks, man. So again, my name is Tan Trin. I'm founded the D-NewTech, and it's pretty much a spin-off from DNewTech. So the whole purpose of D-NewTech is so that a lot of entrepreneurs like myself, I'm an entrepreneur. I actually had my humble beginning here at TechTown with my first software company called Mental Note, which is an electronic medical record software company. But now I currently have Kidpreneur, which teaches kindergarten to 8th grade about entrepreneurship and computer programming. So think of it like Kuman, but mostly focusing on entrepreneurship and coding. So right now what we've done is that we've kind of started D-NewTech back in 2010 to kind of give entrepreneurs an opportunity to pitch their ideas in front of investors or real entrepreneurs who have been successful. And the whole reason is because a lot of us as entrepreneurs, as we know, we always think we got the most beautiful baby in the world until we share it with the whole community. And that's when we really know how ugly it is. So the point of the D-NewTech is for that. And the other reason how we're kind of different from DNewTech is that we go to different locations in the southeast area of Michigan. So, I mean, pretty much we come to TechTown once or twice a year. We go to Bamboo, Wisdom, even as far north as OU Inc., just so that we can show entrepreneurs where they can actually get some resources as well as where they can actually get their humble beginnings as well. But for most of the event today, it's in the same format as what we normally do. We get usually 4 to 5 entrepreneurs to pitch for 5 minutes, but this time they get judged. And then afterward, then we do have a speed round that will take place in between the 5-minute presentations, and usually that will entail 4 or 5 entrepreneurs. And with that, I also want to say thank you for first TechTown for allowing us to use this place. This is an awesome place. What do you guys think? Is it pretty cool? And then I want to thank Tech 248, which is part of Oakland County. It's an initiative from Al Brooks Patterson. I'm one of the CIOs that runs one of the sections of Tech 248 in the Oakland County. That's for Novi, Wixom, and South Lyon. And then we also want to thank OU Inc. and Amy Butler, who couldn't be here today. She's sick. She was actually going to be one of our judges, but she's sick today. So she wants to say thank you for coming as well. And then also Invest Detroit. I mean, none of this would have been happening if we couldn't pair up with Invest Detroit. So thanks again. So with that, I'm going to turn over just quickly to our Marine Corps here, Martin. Is that right? And I just want to let him say a little bit about the toys for tots that we're collecting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Is it just me, or did it sound like he had a mic, even though he didn't? My name is Corporal Mendez. I work with MWSS 471 on Selfridge, Michigan. And I'm here today in support of the Toys for Tots Foundation. One of the things I'd like to note, first of all, is that I am not from Detroit. I'm not from Michigan at all. I'm actually from Texas, small town Texas, little town called Plainview, right up the Panhandle between Lubbock and Amarillo. You've probably never heard of it. One of the first things that I realized when I was leaving North Carolina from my MOS school to come to Detroit was that everyone that I told I was coming to Detroit told me that I probably wasn't going to live past the age of 22, which I am, 22. I definitely came off of the plane in the sea bag, inside of the sea bag. But now that I've been here for 2 years, I have to say that one of the things that I miss from being in Texas is the hospitality and the kindness that you see in a lot of people. And I can also honestly say that Detroit, Michigan has an abundance of people that I have found nowhere else other than in my hometown and with that Southern hospitality. The people here are very strong, kind-hearted individuals. And that being said, I want to tell all of you thank you for any of you who have donated. For those of you who haven't, I'm sure you will. And I want to say thanks on behalf of all the children who will receive those donations, because there are some families who won't get to have holidays this season. So thank you for the Marine Corps. Thank you on the behalf of the children receiving the gifts. Thank you for the Toys for Tots Foundation. And I hope all of you have the best of holidays. Thank you very much.
And then we also have Diane from TechTown. Want to say a couple words?
Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to hop up and say thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Diane Love-Savada. I'm the Director of Events and Community Engagement here at TechTown. So it's events like this that we do in collaboration with other organizations in Detroit and Southeast Michigan, just to help, kind of further extend our reach out into the communities and other organizations to, further endorse our small business hub that we're trying to really be here. So this is a perfect showing of that. We're glad to be able to do these types of things. And so come back when, you're not here for D-NewTech or whatever. We have lots of stuff going on in the month of December. If you didn't know, we host pop-up vendors here for lunch and now retail in our space. So we had both of those going on here today, and we're super excited about that. So also, again, supporting the clients that we serve as well as the businesses in Detroit. So good luck to all of you pitching tonight, and thank you, Corporal Mendez, for your work. We really appreciate what you do in serving our country. Thank you.
So without any further ado, we'd love to start the 5-minute pitches. We're going to be starting with Matt Russell from LocalHop. LocalHop is a platform for adults to learn of different activities taking place in their proximity. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce Matt to the stage.
Matt Russell with LocalHop. Thanks for having me here tonight. I've got part of our team sitting in the back, some of the guys from LocalHop, and also our partner, Amber Detroit, who's helped us a lot with the design and coding. So that's the crew sitting back there in the corner. So LocalHop, just as a quick intro, is a mobile app that connects end users with organizations in different communities around Metro Detroit at this point. Really, we got started. Let me ask you a question, actually, first, before I go into how we got started. How many of you, just randomly, on your way to work on a Monday, maybe looking at the paper, driving around town, saw a billboard, saw something in the paper or magazine, and said, you know what? That would have been a really fun thing to go to. I'm guessing at some point somebody, or just about everybody's felt that. Another question. How many of you know when the Lions play this weekend or last weekend? I bet a lot of the guys in here at least do. But let me ask a different question. How many of you know the next city council meeting in your hometown? Or the next time the library by you is hosting an event of some sort, some fun activity? I bet most of you can't answer that question. So with us, what we ran into, Jason, one of the guys that started this with me, texted me on a Friday night and said, hey, we're looking for something to do. Is there some app, something out there that can help me find what's going on? He was looking for a beer festival, actually, so something a little fun. And we looked around. We couldn't find anything. So we thought, okay, we're in the IT business. Maybe this is something we could quickly build. But before we do that, let's go talk to some of the organizations that host these events. So we went to the city of Rochester Hills. They basically said, no, we see the same problem. We like your idea, and you know what? We'll use it, and we'll even pay you for it. So we didn't even have a sketch at that point. So we thought, okay, maybe we're onto something. So what we're trying to accomplish, what LocalHop really is, we find that there is a fragmentation of local events, different websites, Facebook pages, other things. It's difficult to find. It's hard to navigate. You have to go to 20 different pages, and frankly, nobody has the time for that, especially us. We're busy entrepreneurs. So we believe that there's a way to give a single platform for people to find local events going on in the towns they care about. So what we did is we built LocalHop, and it's meant to be a voice for those organizations and those communities and a tool for end users to find things going on. Very easy, very quickly. So what I want to do is, real quick, I'll show you a couple screenshots. First of all, we built LocalHop around a concept of what we call hotspots. So you create a hotspot. You can call it anything you want. Chopped liver, home, Livonia, whatever you want to call it. You add cities to or communities to your hotspot. You can create one-to-many. So from there, in this case, and this is Bob's hotspot, he created one for Detroit. You see events. These are real events that folks have loaded. You see events in the app. You scroll through this, and you get a quick rundown summary. If I like an event, or if I see one I want more detail on, I pull that up. This is an event that the Detroit Historical Museum has loaded. So it gives you basic info. There's a description. It'll take you to a website, and you can register for it if they've got registration set up. So a few key things. You'll see in the green, and I know it's a little small here, there's add to calendar. I can add it to my personal like iPhone or Android calendar. You don't have to go back into the app later. You can favorite the event. You can follow the organizer. And because people like to go to events with friends, you can share it on social media or text or email the event information to somebody. So success so far, we launched in early October, so about 2 months right now. We've got approximately 50 organizations that have loaded almost 500 events and had quite a few users download it. We're into the several hundreds. And we just recently won Best New Business of the Year from the Ferndale Chamber of Commerce. They're one of our big supporters. So competition, there's a handful of other apps that do this, but not quite the same way. Bad UI, they're doing screen scrapes. They're just pulling stuff in. Of course, Facebook is out there with events. We don't think they're in quite the same way, in the same local focus that we've been going after. So audience, I'll give you a few quick statistics. There's about 98,000 public schools. There's 1.5 million registered charities in this country. There's 16,000 libraries with branches. We see a total of approximately 2 million organizations that we think could use LocalHop. There's also how many adults in this country? Everybody's looking for something to do. We think LocalHop could be used by the entire U.S. adult population. So how are we going to make money? 3 quick things. Subscription model based on the number of events that you post. We could also allow people to promote events. The code's not built for that, but it's coming in future releases. And finally, we could do very hyper-local advertising for local merchants in those small towns or in those cities that want to show something. So our pitch tonight, what we're looking for, frankly, I'd love to see every single one of you download the app. We're looking for cool people to work with us and down the road, potentially some investment. Thank you.
So for the next 3 minutes, we'll have the judges ask Mr. Russell a few questions relating to the business. And then everyone on the audience, if you do have a sheet in front of you for evaluation, please take your own notes, and whatever question you might have will be given to Matt at the end. So ask your questions there. Thanks.
What would you consider like a successful beta launch? When I'm talking about numbers, it sounds like a decent idea. It's unique, but there's been, there are competitors out there that do similar things. What would make you guys feel is that, okay, we're right at a certain point, we've got this many users. What's the milestone? Yeah, what is the milestone for the initial part?
I would split it up into, so milestones would be on the organization level. We looked at a very hyper-local focus on Ferndale, Birmingham, Rochester Hills, frankly, because that's 3 cities we live in. We have, in Birmingham and Ferndale, hit every major organization, chamber, library, downtown development authority, the city hall, and a lot of the charities in those organizations. So we look for a critical penetration with those orgs. In those two cities where most of our focus has been, we've got everybody. So we're pushing up on registered users around 300 right now. So our goal.
Who's your ideal user?
Ideal user, anybody that's looking for something to do in their town.
Okay. But it seems like by the organizations that you're going after, you've also kind of decided that you're talking about people who are interested in what the chambers and the libraries and the charities are doing. I said this genuinely because that seems to me as though you've chosen a target user, but I'm not sure that maybe you've thought kind of backed into your choices then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think I see where you're going. The idea that we had was we're going after users that would be interested in doing things in their town. And so the two water lines that we sort of set is we don't want to be a happy hour app. We're not going to compete with Yelp or Groupon. So we're not hitting local merchants because they're already there. And I'm not interested in that space right now. I think there's an underserved market with those organizations, those charities, those other places that basically the feedback we got from talking to users was they're going to too many websites. So we're not interested in the restaurant, the Yelp, that kind of review level. We're also not interested in competing with Ticketmaster. So you won't see the Tigers in there. You won't see, the Jay-Z concert or the Black Keys concert or something like that in there. If it's something that goes on in your local town, that's the voice that we're looking to bring.
Sounds like the penetration is driven by relationships, kind of grassroots kind of approach. How do you scale this? How do you get to other cities? How do you?
A very good question. So we look at LocalHop as a platform. So, and this is a bold statement, but like a Facebook or a Twitter, we're asking the organizations once they test this out with us and get the feedback. You see an icon for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We want one for LocalHop for their events. In fact, we're even looking at possibly replacing some of their calendaring systems as part of their websites. So we want it to be as ubiquitous.
That's the most compelling thing that I've heard.
Thank you.
replacing a calendar. If you are creating an infrastructure by which these organizations can do better at promoting their own events, independent of whether or not anybody has downloaded LocalHop, it's actually, it's almost you're making a POS system, if you will. Right? If you decided that you were disrupting at an infrastructural level, how chamber or community-based organizations, which sounds like the primary target from a business side,
libraries,
right? If you were giving them a better mechanism to interface across social with whatever their demographic is, to me that becomes compelling.
Okay.
Until then, I think that you're metro times for libraries, and I think that that's okay. You just got to be really clear about what that means about the demographic you're targeting, because I don't know that people who go to the library every day, all day, for their events actually are going to use smartphones all that much. I mean, I think you're talking about an older segment of the population.
Yeah.
And I think that creates some tech challenges if you're creating a tech solution for that market, right?
Okay.
But bringing the library to the youth is a very different interest. Sorry.
No, that's good feedback. Thank you. Yesterday, for example, I'm sorry, not yesterday. There was a meeting yesterday. This morning we were at an event for the Birmingham Bloomfield Chamber. And one of their committees said, could you guys possibly replace our events calendaring system in the website? You've already got the data. Possibly as an extension, it's in the database. Could you go to the mobile platform? Could you go to the web platform as well? One of our next releases, hopefully this month, will enable the results to come up on a PC or a Mac. It would just be an extension of that then to actually integrate with their sites.
They'll also pay you.
They will. Yeah, there's some
there's
some
a
good
revenue stream right there. As you sell to the organization, you're a B2B offering, you're an enterprise solution that then can leverage consumer data.
Yeah.
There's a secondary or tertiary revenue stream.
So the subscription model is built.
It's not what
or the version of the app that allows for payment via subscription model.
that is not built yet. In fact, the app and the payment mechanism would be separate. So we don't need the organizers don't load events through the mobile app. We have a web portal where they would go and do it. Right now we create a login for them, and then we give them delegated admin rights where they can go in and we don't load their events, they load their events. Everything you see here is stuff that, like in this case, the Historical Museum loaded themselves. So to do that, the gate would be if and when we move to that subscription model, we charge them before we let them in. So it's not built yet, but that is in the roadmap.
All right, that concludes the time period for questions. Please give Matt a round of applause, please. All right, so we'll have about 60 seconds for the judges to complete their scoring rubric at the time. We have Christina coming up to speak on SpellBound in a second. Also want to say we do pay attention to all the companies and what's going on. We do want to award a People's Choice. So at the end, if you have Twitter or any sort of social media, tag hashtag D-NewTech and say which of the companies are your favorite. And then at the end, we'll compile all those mentions and come up with a People's Choice winner. So, Christina, we have you coming up. Yep. Judges, are we ready? Kick it off, Matt.
Imagine if your favorite book characters could materialize, leave the pages, and talk with you. How would this change how you engage with books? Altality is a company that is passionate about connecting physical and digital worlds to create enriching and meaningful experiences. And we're starting out by changing the way people read books. I'm Christina York, co-founder and CEO. Our first product, SpellBound, is gaining traction in the children's publishing industry. With the SpellBound mobile app, paper books have an overlaid digital experience. Point a smartphone at the pages of a book, and you can see the characters leap out of the page in 3D. You can hear the story read aloud. You can even touch words on the paper page and hear definitions. The problem is that books are not a choice activity for children during free playtime, and kids are reading less and less as they get older. This is a problem for parents and teachers who care about literacy skill development, and this is a problem for publishers who are seeking digital strategies to expose them to new markets. Technology is pervasive in our lives, and while some may say that technology is a distraction for young children, we say that technology is the way that the next generation is learning to take information in and engage with their world. We take that technology and point it at something worthwhile. Our immersive experiences are designed to engage kids with the book content and help them develop literacy skills, all while having fun. So here's how it works. We work with authors and publishers to secure rights to their content. We then create the augmented reality, or AR, experience for each book and add it to the growing SpellBound library. Consumers can purchase AR experiences in-app. We can also license this consumer app to institutions that work with children, like schools, libraries, and hospitals. And when complete, we will be able to license our technology platform to large publishers who want their own branded AR experience libraries. Margie and I, my co-founders, started out in November of 2014 winning Detroit Startup Weekend. We then went on to win one of the 5 prizes in Global Startup Battle, competing against 23,000 people across 83 countries. In January of 2015, we exhibited at the Consumer Electronics Show and attracted attention from Disney, Amazon, and CNET. We knew we had something special. We filed the LLC, a provisional patent, and quit our jobs. We bootstrapped and raised a friends and family round totaling $117,000. Since then, we have begun conversations with 3 major children's publishers, signed contracts with 4 authors, a letter of intent with a publisher, established a pilot program with Mott Children's Hospital, released our app in iOS and Android stores, conducted a closed technical beta, and begun production on 5 books. We've done all this on a burn rate of about $5,000 a month. Currently, we are collecting and analyzing the data from our closed beta, and we are preparing to release our minimal viable product at the end of this year. Now, there's a lot of markets that we can go after, but based on conversations we have with publishers, we feel that the consumer market is the best place to kind of test this technology out in. But we plan on exploring all promising markets through pilot projects that we plan to launch in the next year or 2. We compete with augmented reality companies like Zappar for publisher relationships, content, and revenue. We compete with children's digital app providers like Cupcake for consumer dollars and children's interest. Our uniques lie in the fact that we are the only company trying to solve the problem of aggregation, creating a single marketplace for AR for books, like what Kindle did for ebooks. We are also focused on establishing this technology specifically in a new vertical, the publishing industry. But our biggest advantage is our team. We have 2 full-time co-founders that have experience in the publishing-related industry and the software development industry, and all of us have experience working together. We have an amazing group of advisors consisting of experts in augmented reality, legal, education, and child media psychology. Now, our biggest expenses right now are in production costs. These will drop drastically in 2017 when our platform is complete. It'll allow us efficiencies. But we plan on being cash flow positive at the beginning of 2016 and with a positive revenue stream in 2017. We are bringing a revolutionary technology to mass market, and we are making it scalable. But more importantly, we have the ability to change lives. Our company is Altality, our product is SpellBound, and our mission is to reimagine reading. Thanks.
Judge, if you want to begin 3-minute Q&A.
Who developed the tech?
We started at Detroit Startup Weekend, so we had a team, 2 guys, Seth and Sean, who are part of TechTown here, helped us develop our tech demo. And then since then, we have all our developers are contractors that work part-time for us. So we have a handful, a network of people that we call on to develop both the gaming engine side as well as the modeling and the animation.
But you own the tech. How difficult is it to come up with the same, I guess, I assume there's some sort of hotspots that you program onto a page that the tech can recognize that there's a page and then builds sort of predetermined animations based on the positioning of those sort of like known commodities or whatever?
Correct.
How difficult is that to build? Why doesn't Scholastic just do this?
Scholastic doesn't want to do this. Publishers don't want to be tech companies. They're bad at it. So they're not interested in it. Typically, those publishers buy out-of-the-box solutions for these things. We have had talks with Scholastic. They're interested. They know they want AR. They know that ebooks are not, they don't have a digital solution for kids. Ebooks are failing. Paper books are doing well. So we're going to where the market is right now, and with Scholastic, they'd rather just buy something and not manage tech. That's just a cost center for them. For us, we've been building and researching this technology for a while, for over a year now. So.
You got a licensing model you talked about that appeared the primary source of revenue.
Some of your lecture books have.
Yeah. We think the consumer model is a way of proving out the tech and proving to publishers we can sell books with this. We can get people engaged with things that you haven't sold off shelves in years that are sitting in your storage facilities. We can prove to them with that. But that's not going to be a major source of revenue. We feel like, we just had a meeting today with Mott Children's Hospital, and they're going to be putting it in, all their therapists are going to be using it with the children. You know how many children's hospitals in the United States? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a lot. And so licensing to places like that. School districts are a longer sales cycle, harder to get into, but we're starting with teachers. We've got a lot of traction with teachers who are willing to pay for and bring technology into the classroom themselves.
Which they're doing already.
They are doing already. They have, a lot of them have grants and have devices in their classroom, but no content for it because it's so hard to get into school districts. So we've been running pilot programs with them.
Is there a way to, I'm thinking from a classroom place, if I have 30 screaming children, I mean, how rugged a case do I need for my iPad to actually show them this? How does that? I just don't know how. Logistically, I just don't know how it works.
For the younger children, iPads are a little more difficult to maneuver. But we brought it into a classroom. We brought it into a kindergarten classroom. We watched them use it, and we watched them do reading rotations where 3 of them at a time move to different tables and pick it up, and they are moving around that book, looking at it from different angles, talking about what's going on in the scene, and they're pretty They are fighting over the device sometimes. They're all really excited about it. But we see a lot of smartphone and iPod Touch use, and iPod Touches are often in classrooms as well.
Any consideration with bringing it to wearables?
Yeah. So we're making sure that the technology platform we're building are compatible with the biggest things that are going on right now, HoloLens, Oculus, Google Glass. It's the same engine behind it. And we're paying it close attention because I don't see a reason to wait to bring augmented reality to mass market. The mobile devices have advanced far enough that they can read it quickly enough, return it quickly enough, have enough memory, and operating power. So as soon as those things, as soon as they hit mainstream and become affordable and people start buying them, we're keeping a close eye. We're making sure we can maybe move that over very easily to that.
Real quick, how much longer do you have for a burn rate? What's your cash?
We have at this rate 3 months. may decide to kind of ramp that up and shorten that runway because we have a couple milestones, we have some traction in some areas, we just want to get some stuff done. So, but if we spend at the rate that we have been, 3 months.
Is that your closed loop beta?
Oh, no, well, we're continuing to produce complete production on published books. We have those ready to go. We just haven't released it. We're missing some of the app, our e-commerce section or the library shelf where they choose the book that they want to look at.
And have you given, sorry, I know we're over time. Have you given, it's us, it's not you, you're good, she's fine. So,
Final question.
Yeah. What's the structure of the vehicle for the investment you're trying to take, or what have you done thus far? Is it convert with that? I mean,
We've done.
What do things look like?
We did an equity deal for the friends and family. We had a single investor that had a large amount at that time. Right now, our ask that we're looking for is $400,000 for the next round, and that's primarily in salary to complete the platform. We have 3 technical positions we want to hire. It's marketing as well for trade shows, the places where we've gotten the connections with the publishers. And it's for some professional services, legal, accounting, and some software licensing. That's what we're looking for. And we haven't limited the terms of that. We're open to seeing what people are interested in and talking about.
Good job.
Great job.
Thanks, guys.
Coolio. So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to have a series of 60-second pitches.
I forgot. I had a demo if you guys wanted to see it.
Oh.
Do you want me to leave it? I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the next 5 minutes, we're going to have a slew of 60-second pitches.
We're going to take a break after that.
Yeah, then we're going to take a 10-minute break. What was that? There will be another 2 after the break. So, yeah, so if I could have Pantheon, Mike Coop, Gmart Ads, Go Commando, as well as Wayne LLC just come up. They're each going to do a 60-second pitch. Then we're going to follow up with a 10-minute break. And then we'll come back, do the last 2-minute pitches, and then announce the winners. Y'all can go one by one.
Who wants to go first? I'll do it. Hi, guys. My name is John Getchman, and I'm just the son of an immigrant from Germany trying to make it here in Detroit. And I have developed the Go Commando app. What the Go Commando app does, it puts brands right in the hands of students at over 700 universities, which gives them a reach of over 6.5 million college students across the United States. The Go Commando app, it makes it really easy for college students to make a little bit of extra cash. So let me kind of describe this to you. Let's say little Sally Sue, she's a college sophomore, and she's a real go-getter. Okay, so she wants to make some extra money on the weekend, so she's going to pull out her phone, open up the Go Commando app, and look through the marketplace. Find a brand that she wants to work with. Let's say she's working with the EXO sweater company. That's not real, but don't tell anybody. So she reads the job description, and it says, we want you to post a selfie on your social networks with the hashtag CableKnitForLife. So she does the selfie, she posts it on her social network, and the brand gets notified of this, they approve the work, and then immediately she gets paid. It's really not more complicated than that. So I'm kind of disrupting an industry right now with this whole college market thing. But not only that, I'm changing lives by tackling one of the biggest problems in our nation right now, which is student debt. I have some, maybe some people in this room have some. It's really unfortunate. So I have to ask, who's ready to go commando with me? Thank you.
We ask that you stay in the middle.
Oh, stay in the middle?
Sorry,
that's even better. I like to walk. So, my name is Ida Birdhill, and I'm the co-founder of We In LLC, which is Somalian for great. Do you know that in this country, research shows that people spend more time planning their vacation than they spend planning their family empire or retirement? That's amazing, isn't it? Well, that explains why we have retirement poverty that's growing by exponential numbers. Right now, women of color, 17% are in retirement poverty, and people of color, about 20%. And that means African American, Asians, Hispanic, Native Americans. That's a lot. And as the baby boomers continually retire, the number just keeps growing. But then the thing is that one of the reasons why people don't spend much time, financial education is required in order to plan. and people hate it. It's boring, it's full of jargon, and nobody wants to go, so they refuse to go. But what if, in the middle of playing your video games, you could learn financial concepts unconsciously? No boring, fun, just like playing Candy Crush or playing Clash of Clans or playing your casino slots. Would you play that video game? Most people would. Well, We In LLC is the creator of a robo financial wellness advisor that is based in those economic strategy games. We completed our minimally viable prototype this week, yoo-hoo, of the show's our first game, which is My Jewel Empire. But here's what's exciting. Because people hate retirement education and financial education, those financial institutions are interested in purchasing that type of product. And so far we have a major credit card network, a registered investment advisor, a bank, and a research retirement planning think tank who are interested in fueling that product. So our business-to-business subscription model, Robo Financial Wellness Advisors, we think will change the numbers of retirement poverty, and instead of seeing them going up exponentially, we're going to hopefully see them go downward. Would you participate?
Hello everyone, Frank Norman. I'm with GMAR Ads, the internet's first marketing networking site. GMAR Ads does for your business what LinkedIn does for the business professional. GMAR Ads allow your business to have its very own video ad profile. You can friend other businesses that share that same market base. As an affiliate, collectively, you all can create a promotion to give the visitor if they stay within your own network. So imagine you being a baker and you put up a discount of 50% off. It shows up on the news feed of your affiliate businesses. GMAR Ads also have a mobile application called QRS. The way QRS works is in the way of promoting your GMAR Ads profile onto your customers' social media. How it works is this way. You go to the bakery and they say, if you QRS, you can save 10% off your purchase. So the person pull out their mobile app, scans the QR code, shares on social media, and that news feed of that promotion shows up on the phone after they share onto social media. So basically, they took your business, your GMAR Ads video profile, and placed it on their Twitter feed, where your 200 plus followers can tap on a link, watch the video of that business, and decide if they're going to go visit your place of business. GMAR Ads is up and running now. We are in our beta testing to where small businesses can log on and post their video ad and find other businesses to affiliate with. It works like with any other networking site, to where you can friend, you can send private messages to each other, you can defriend as well. Again, it's called GMAR Ads. Our motto is sharing is greater than marketing. GMAR Ads stands for Guerrilla Marketing and Advertising. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alex Norman, no relation. Originally from New York, just moved here to Detroit. I live in downtown. And probably like most of you guys, I have a love-hate relationship with my apartment building. I love the convenience, but I hate maintenance issues, not knowing who to contact. I love being surrounded by neighbors who have a lot to offer, but hate actually talking to them. So I built mycoop.com, which is a private social platform for residential buildings, where residents can upload and access what they need and communicate what and when they want about things related to their building privately, safely, and securely. I launched about a year ago. Right now, we're about in 600 buildings across the country, and hope to be the standard for inter-building communications in the U.S. We are currently free to use, but soon we're planning to offer premium services for property managers and developers. We are basically live, up and running. So please, if you have live in a building that's 2 or more units and have some of the issues that I've shared with you today, please join mycoop.com and start loving where you live.
With that, we'll take a 10-minute break. Encourage everyone to go out, network, find a company that you are pretty interested in, talk to them, see how you might be a benefit to one another. And then I'll call everyone in the next 10 minutes. Thanks. Getting ready for the final two pitches. Please take your seats. How have you liked the pitches thus far?
Pretty good.
Like them? Are you excited about these companies? Judges, can we have you all speak up when you ask those questions so the audience knows what you're asking?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll yell at whoever's pitching.
He'll yell.
Sorry if you're pitching.
Coolio. So without further ado, I'm inviting Zach Weston to the stage, who will be presenting LocalHop VR, a web and mobile-based platform for use to create, share, and view virtual reality real estate showings. So give me a second.
All right. Thank you. I am Zach Weston. This is LocalHop VR. LocalHop VR will be a platform that enables users to create, share, and view virtual reality real estate tours. Tonight, I want to share the problem, our solution, a little bit about the market, how we plan to make money, and a little bit more. We'll start with the problem. Photos have been the dominant paradigm for how consumers evaluate property listings for decades. And ask any real estate agent, and they'll tell you, if you want a great listing, you got to have great photos. There's an exciting new technology that's on the horizon that I think is going to change how we look at real estate, and that is virtual reality. Virtual reality headsets immerse you in a virtual environment, make it feel as if you're actually there. That's exciting for real estate because it means you could visit a property from anywhere and feel as though you're actually inside that space. It would be like shopping for real estate in the Matrix. The problem is, there's no easy way right now for users to create these virtual real estate tours, share them, and view them in a virtual reality headset. And that is where we want LocalHop VR to come in. Our solution comes in two parts. The first part is technological. We want to build a web and mobile platform that will enable users to easily create these virtual tours, share them through existing channels such as Trulia, Zillow, MLS listings on their personal websites through social media, and then view them through virtual reality headsets such as Google Cardboard, Oculus Rift, and Samsung Gear VR. The second part of our solution involves partnering with local real estate agents, and this does two things. First, it provides those local real estate agents with a constant stream of leads, prospective buyers and sellers in their area who are interested in showing or viewing properties in virtual reality. The second thing it does is it gives us a local presence in these markets. It gives buyers and sellers access to, or free access to virtual reality cameras and virtual reality headsets. The other nice thing about this is that if we can partner with a large brokerage firm such as Keller Williams or CBRE, we have the potential to gain a national footprint and access to large networks very quickly. The market we're going after is very significant. $27 billion is spent every year on real estate advertising, and 56% of that, or $15 billion, is spent online, and that number is only going to grow. We know that there are millions of real estate agents out there. We know that there are tens of thousands of brokerage companies, and we know that they're all willing to spend money on technology if it helps them grow their business. And we believe that LocalHop VR, by connecting them with prospective buyers and sellers in their area, will connect them with new business. Which brings us to how we plan to make money. Like Zillow or like Trulia, we want to pursue a freemium model, where most users, especially buyers and sellers, can create these tours and view them for free. But certain users are going to want access to additional features, more storage, virtual reality cameras, virtual reality headsets, featured listings, enhanced search profiles, advertising. We can offer that for a monthly fee, and that's where a lot of our revenue comes from. The other benefit to having premium features like that is that we can offer them for free to users if they refer us to other users. If we have a real estate agent who is willing to refer us to other real estate agents, we can give them access to extra storage, just like Dropbox will give you additional storage if you refer a friend to their service and they sign up. Our plan is to go after a very small amount of the Michigan market initially with a minimum viable product, test it, refine the idea, keep building the platform, and over time try to grow it within Michigan. We think that with just 2.5% of the Michigan market, we will have enough revenue to attract additional investment and build a platform that's able to scale first to Michigan and beyond. And if we can capture just a small percentage, 2.5% of the national market, in terms of how many people are downloading and using premium accounts, we'll have millions of dollars of revenue potential. The team so far is myself, several technical advisors, and several folks who are actively involved in real estate. We know that this is both a technological and a relationship-driven business, so it's important to focus on both of the team. If we receive investment either tonight or from other outside investors beyond this competition, we plan to use it to do testing and to launch a minimum viable product pilot here in Michigan. Our plan is to start this in the winter. We can do this with existing technology, using off-the-shelf tools, and refine it with users, get their feedback, and use that to build revenue to get to the point where we can launch a really scalable web and mobile platform. This has been Lookup VR. It's a platform for creating, sharing, and viewing virtual reality real estate tours. Thank you very much.
Really quick, what you might have mentioned this. What off-the-shelf technology would you use to help people to view this VR?
Sure. The most important part of the minimum viable product is file storage and then sharing it with people. So we can create virtual reality tours using existing cameras. There are cameras from Ricoh, there are cameras from Kodak that will one-click take a full 360 view. And so what we plan to do is share that via Dropbox, create permissions with users, and approach real estate agents, do a local pilot with real estate agents, and allow them to show their buyers those tours. And they can do it. We can give away free Google Cardboards. It's a very inexpensive virtual reality headset that works with existing smartphones to provide a screen. So we feel like that part we can get great testing, great feedback, and then over time be developing the actual interface on the web and mobile platform.
Fairly competitive market, right? I mean, you're not the only player, and I think Matterdown or some company just got $30 million from Qualcomm to do something very similar, right?
Yeah. No, that would be one competitor in this space. Matterport is a company that just received about $30 million in venture funding, but their product is a $4,500 camera, and so their tours cost between $300 to $700 per house. These tours can be done using your own smartphone. They can be done using cameras that cost a couple $100s to make it a lot quicker. It's going after the much lower end of the market where most buyers, most sellers, and frankly most real estate agents and real estate photographers are going to be operating. Matterport makes sense if you have a luxury property or if you have a huge apartment complex where you can take just one or two tours. But it doesn't make sense for the average house. It doesn't make sense for the average buyer, seller, real estate agent. They're going after the upper end of the market.
So who actually pays you?
Sure, it would be real estate agents because we would be, buyers and sellers could use it for free. That's part of they have a free usage tier. But if you want additional storage, like if you want to be able to host more than one house, you'd have to pay for additional storage, and that would be a premium account charge. There will also be other things we could charge.
And how difficult is it to program a virtual reality tour of a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house?
Mm-hmm. Right now, it would be very easy to do with just multiple cameras taking photospheres and connecting those together. The technology that's coming out and supposed to come out in 2016, things like Google's Project Tango, Intel's RealSense technology, enables you to literally use a mobile tablet or a phone to create a complete virtual environment based on just scanning a physical environment. And it will be integrated in consumer technology eventually. So we're trying to go to where the technology is going to be. Right. But in the meantime, you can do it right now with an off-the-shelf camera that takes photospheres, this complete spherical view of a physical space, and you stitch a bunch of those together.
I guess my question, how do you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How do you stitch them together? I'm just confused as to how difficult it is.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't assume real estate agents are all that technologically savvy all the time.
Sure.
How does that?
Yeah, and initially for the minimum viable product, the stitching together, we wouldn't be stitching it together. We'd be just like literally taking different photospheres and linking them together so that people can test it. Down the road, it would look like Google Street View has a blur effect between photo bubbles, because they take spherical photos at set intervals along a road, and then they do a blur effect between them.
Okay, so it's Google Street View for the inside of the house.
Yeah, essentially it'd be like Google Street View for the inside of your house.
How many customers have you guys, or how many customers have validated? How many customers said, hey, we want this, we want to use this?
That's the plan is to launch the pilot program and do the testing this winter. The real estate agents that I've talked to said, yes, I'll do this. How can I make this happen? But I haven't gone out.
How many of those? How many real estate agents, approximately? The customer discovery aspect, how thorough was that?
Sure. I've talked to 3 different agents with 3 different companies. One CBRE, one works for Keller Williams out of Grand Rapids, and the third one owns their own independent agency in Lansing, Michigan.
I think he probably would share this sentiment, but before you build something, probably do an extensive amount of more of that customer discovery, because you'll find out and learn a lot on the way.
And I think
Figure out
that should
who's
be the
doing
next
what
step.
they're doing. Figure out who's going to beat you there.
Well, yeah, I think Matterport's one part of the space. I've heard of anybody else going after this low end of the market, but it's going to be happening for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just be careful.
You're right.
Any intellectual property?
The technology platform, I think there's some parts of it that you can protect, but most of it, honestly, I think this is all about grabbing users.
Right.
I think it's speed to market is key, and building the relationships with the real estate agents is huge. Not a lot of people have headsets, and so getting headsets out there, like giving away free Google Cardboards, partnering with real estate agents, I feel like that's the only way you're going to get mass adoption of this. And so I think it has to be something that you move as quickly as possible and go through existing channels. In this case, when people want to buy or sell property, they go to a real estate agent. So use those existing channels and try to piggyback off of those relationships to spread the product.
And your strategy is to give it free to the pilot users, or what?
Yeah, and to the pilot users, absolutely. We're trying to
What's the goal for how many pilot users? You may have said that. How many pilot users do you want to have?
The goal would be to do as many as possible in a couple local markets, so like Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Detroit. I don't have a specific number, just as many as people as we can talk to and would be willing to participate and give them access to
that number in your head. If I even triple that number in your head. So.
You also need a team. Advisors aren't sufficient, genuinely. Like, I think that the fact that we're giving the feedback we're giving is that I think all of us see the value in the idea. 2.5%, you're going to get crushed, period. There is no way to go. You cannot go after 2.5% of the market.
Right, yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm letting you know, like, that can't be your target, because you're not. It just doesn't work. And then you need a team of people who are going to work with you. Because you're in a relationship-based business, right? They can't be advisors. They got to be in.
No, I agree. Yeah, it has to be a full-time, sales-driven, relationship-driven, demo-driven product. Yeah.
That's it. Google Street View for houses. I get it. It's pretty sweet.
That's a good way to think of it. Thank you.
All right, can we get a round of applause for that? So last but certainly not least, we have David from Holler It. He's working on a collaborative network designed for small and local businesses. So I'll help him get set up here. Judges have 60 seconds to finish. Heads up, I'm going to go around and start collecting the sheets, the evaluation sheets after this pitch. So as I collect, make sure to star the company or what on your sheet that you like the most, so we can tally it as the People's Choice winner. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Padot, and according to some calculations, we've created more information in the past 10 years than we have across entire human history before that. We are constantly being bombarded by so much information every day, emails and texts and social media apps, that our brains literally cannot, scientifically proven that we cannot keep up. We're missing out on important things. The most important things that matter to us, we're just missing out on. For example, a few things, sports. Coaches have a hard time when their game gets changed at the last minute or gets moved to a different field. They have to end up calling parents or players and let them know, and it's just hard to call everyone one by one or send an email, and the people aren't checking their email as they get to the game. Then you end up in a situation where this little guy misses his game and he thinks he's screwed for the rest of his life because he missed his game. Crime alerts. Neighborhoods don't really have an easy way to notify the residents that there may have been a burglary in the neighborhood. Email isn't really good for this kind of thing, but that's usually what they use. Businesses ask us for our emails. Once they have your email, you can't ungive them your email. But we still want to know what good deals they might want to offer us. It would be nice if there's a way that we could subscribe to a tag and get those pushed to us anonymously, and unsubscribe whenever we are sick of seeing them. So Holler is my app that can help us stop missing out on these important things. The way it works, it's super simple but super powerful. Someone creates a tag, which is just a word. They tell people that word or the tag. They can share it with social media or just tell them. Users subscribe to that tag who want to be notified. The owner of the tag sends a message, sort of like a text. Immediately, the user gets the notification. So that's the current state of the app. Released MVP sometime in April. The most recent feature is the API. So no longer do you need a person to send the message. Any internet-enabled device can send a message to the tag and notify anyone who's subscribed to that tag. So wearable medical devices that are internet-enabled, Internet of Things devices, they're all programmable. They can talk to the internet and notify you. Any social media app, they all have APIs. If there are any developers here, or even if you're not a developer, the way the API works, you simply get a token that's your ID, and then you would use the API of, Twitter, for example, and attach to that, and it will send messages. So it took me literally about 10 minutes to set that up, and I just set it up just for an example to follow hashtag D-NewTech. There weren't any hashtags with any tweets with that hashtag since like July, but it just started blowing up, especially when SpellBound was on stage. So if you have Holler installed on your device and subscribe to that tag, you might want to try that. It's kind of fun to see these interactions with Twitter. So you don't even need Twitter, but you will basically be able to subscribe to a hashtag without using Twitter. So this is just one example that I quickly thought of. What I'm hoping for by presenting here is to kind of get developers excited about integrating Holler with their apps. And that's it. Thank you.
I'm a bit confused on how this can be used for medical, messages, or could you kind of explain that?
I'm just kind of brainstorming. I know I don't know much about it, but I've seen glucometer that you can wear that's constantly pinging.
That's right.
My mom has diabetes, and I'm always worried about her that she's gonna pass out, and she smokes. So if she passed out with a cigarette, she would.
And how would get a message if she wasn't getting
It's possible with the API. I think it's very, very easy to do this.
Who else is on your team?
Me and my beautiful wife there. She does the graphics. And I just did this at night. I originally did it.
You're a developer?
I'm a developer. I'm not a business person. I did it because I was missing out on stuff.
Take this with all of the kindness that I mean it with. Get a business person.
I'm trying.
Because I think that this is actually a pretty dope idea. You're basically allowing me to turn my smartphone into a pager, right?
To notify you about.
But letting anybody page me. Like I can set up who pages me and how they get to me. I think that's pretty compelling. I think you have to choose a market segment. You got to decide that it's for hospitals, and then go to hospitals and just talk to hospitals all day, every day about how you can plug in every single device they have in every patient waiting room, and then as a doctor, I can subscribe to a hashtag room number, doctor name, whatever. How do you create that closed loop using this specific single-use platform? Yeah. Once you dominate that, you're funded. You can go to whatever the hell you want, and wherever
the adjacent markets will come much easier.
They'll find you. Yeah. The government will call you and say, "Yo, I want it." Somehow, if they do. That's how that works.
Probably do a little bit more extensive understanding of the market that you choose, and it sounds like you might have a surface level understanding, but when you mentioned neighbors don't have a method of notifying neighbors of issues of when the dog is lost, when somebody's burglarized a house, or when the power is out. I use Nextdoor for that very tool. So I just say that to say that obviously this is a less stressful environment to pitch in But if you, as you move this idea through, make sure you know your market and know your competitors.
Thanks.
Is there an incubation
There is, we can talk after about ways and pressure testing this in a condensed time period to really flush out the details of this business model through an accelerator or incubation program.
Cool.
In other words, incubation or accelerator?
Different, or not.
Or accelerator. Okay. That should be in there.
Yeah.
It is, but it's an incubator.
Yeah.
You don't need an accelerator. How do you make money?
Like I said, I'm a developer. I've had some ideas. I originally made it for teachers to use because we were missing a lot of information.
How would a teacher use it?
Send like this homework's due tonight, or this project is due tomorrow, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Broadcast it.
That'd be good.
But right when I finished, there's a big company that just called Remind. They got funded with like $8 million, so they use that now. But there's the whole rest. That's literally just for teachers. And so the rest of the world, so making money. Maybe the businesses, I could have a premium model where they could if they send out good deals, some kind of reporting that would show them who's looking at their things.
Could you make it a client? You own a business, right? You have 50 employees. Could you subscribe them to a hashtag?
Mm-hmm.
So you can push a hashtag to a client. I could just choose to unsubscribe, right?
Mm-hmm,
But
yeah.
you could decide that everybody in this room who has the app, who have our accounts, you can push a hashtag to us, and then you can start sending us reminders based on that.
Yeah, I would
Something-
just I just tell you.
program a phone for somebody else.
Mhm.
I don't trust people to actually download it and do it.
Oh, to download the app.
And
Yeah, they
use
need the app.
hashtag correctly and then go through all those steps. But if they just download it and create an account, and then you can find them as a
Okay.
business, now that's interesting. Right? I don't trust my employees. That's why I pay them nothing.
How would your employees want you to?
I have 0 employees.
Inter-office communication.
Yeah.
From a management perspective, it could definitely become very compelling to engage with your staff, your teams, whether it's a sports team or whether it's a work environment, the connectivity. Or, like you said, for staff at a hospital on a certain floor. So absolutely. Maybe you can think about selling that service to people who need just that.
I wouldn't guess the market. Like Niall said, get a business person, get a program so that you can get resources to help you figure out a market. Right? Interfacing it. Don't just keep guessing.
Customer discovery will exhaust that and it will flush out what your market is.
Cool.
Good idea.
Great product.
Thank you, guys.
All right, cool. So next 5 minutes, the judges will deliberate on our first place and second place winner. I'm going to come around and collect all your sheets, evaluation sheets. Please star the sheet or the company that you want to win as the people's choice, and then they will be our third place winner. So give us about 5 minutes. Judges will deliberate. I'll come collect the sheets, and then we'll announce the winners.
You want to put the website up so that way they can see all the names?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'll try to
We will be announcing the winners momentarily. I liked how it got quiet all of a sudden. All right. So first, by unanimous decision, or should I do second first? All right, I'll do runner-up. So runner-up by unanimous decision was Holler It. Congratulations. Small token from all our sponsors. Oh, yeah. Judges want to say something?
So, this is conditional. Get a business development person. I think Shay is going to hand you guys some feedback for like, get a business first. Because the idea has legs. Like, I think you could apply it in a number of different ways. I think it actually has the biggest like breadth kind of any of the ideas and applications, right? Find somebody who can help you hone. Sorry. When you're building an idea, right? The question is scale. We always think of scale as being a vertical proposition. How do you get to every section of your vertical, right? But because of the way you're building your product, your scale is horizontal and then vertical, right? So you can actually white label your product and push it out to any number of different verticals. The thing that is most compelling to me about it is how far it could go, right? It's not because you had the best business plan, because you didn't. So find somebody to help you with it. Because I think you have a product that you can literally go sell to damn near anybody.
Yeah. Just be diligent about that first vertical, that marketing, the first selection you make, because then you can easily win over those adjacent markets. And if you can make a true domination in a single kind of market, then you can really make some headway in the others.
But yeah, get somebody to help you figure out what that market is and how to attack it.
And it literally might just be somebody who has experience in that market.
Yeah.
Right? It might be you find a business development person who has experience in the market that they tell you to go after. That means they're going to know how to sell in that space. Yeah. You want to get dollar number one, and then you want to get dollar number, insert your salary here, right? So that you can pay yourself to just focus on it. But you have a great idea.
Don't try to build till it's perfect.
No.
Go get it. Go get customers. Yeah. Go figure out their customers and go get them.
Then tallied up the votes for People's Choice. We have LocalHop. Thank you, sir. All the feedback. Small token of appreciation. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much. And then last but not least, the winner of this evening of the second annual D-NewTech Holiday Pitch Competition is, drumroll please, SpellBound. Feedback.
Thank you.
Small tokens of appreciation. Hopefully you enjoyed the gifts. Any feedback here?
How can we help?
Yeah. Get on board.
Yeah. Seriously connect to figure out how we can help you. Yeah. Absolutely. Introductions.
Are you in Detroit right now?
No, we started in Detroit. We have some connections in Detroit, but I live in Ann Arbor, and we are working with Spark in.
How do we get to Detroit? No, that's a serious question. Like, what is it?
I don't know.
It's like free office space. I mean, like, seriously, you should be in Detroit. Because Detroit public schools need this much more than Ann Arbor public schools. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. It's a fact.
Yeah. When we talk to teachers, one of the great equalizers that's kind of coming up, there's still disparity, but like smartphones, families of varying incomes, all of them have smartphones.
Yeah.
And if you can
you
get
have to pay
that.
more for a flip phone.
Right. And so they don't have a laptop or maybe don't have even a tablet, but they all have a smartphone, and that's how they do all their electronic business or whatever with,
Right.
and those kids have access to that. So that's one of the things that we're like really interested in.
How do we get you to Detroit? I think that if you can, you have Shay's info.
Yeah.
He can get you in touch with us. If that's something that this group can do, is help figure out how to get you to Detroit.
Yeah.
I want that to
I
happen.
think business can help drive that decision, and I think some good introductions with MAPSA, DPS at the right levels, skilled lights.
I mean, like,
that would make
help
it
your
better.
brand,
Yeah.
There are a lot of people looking to make some social impact investing too. The Max Fisher Foundation just launched a new initiative in that exact space. The social impact investing and figuring out how to build out things that matter. So
Yeah, because we're looking for little bridge money right now.
yeah,
you guys should probably
Yeah, I think Little Bridge money is probably not your target.
All right.
But you got to validate a customer. If you can validate a customer for real, then you're not looking for bridge money anymore. You're looking for somebody to factory receivables.
Right.
That's a different
Charter autonomy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit less bureaucracy with respect to individual decision making, and I think I can help you there. I know I can.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, because every pitch participant is a winner, we have gifts for everyone. Look at VR. Feedback is a small token. My bad. We got something else for the judges. For 60-second pitches, you can take your pick of y'all validate partners. Thank you everyone for coming out. Hope to see you next month at the next D-NewTech event.